What's going on, guys? We are back with another video, and today I'm coming from within the ZR2 because this video is going to be on real-world fuel economy. I've seen fuel economy numbers all over the place on the internet, and a lot of people want to know is the 16 mile per gallon really true on the ZR2s. And today we're going to do some real-world testing. So I just recently filled up, and we have a trip planned today to Moab. So it's about a 215 mile drive, 216 mile drive down to Moab, and it's going to be about 10 to 15% city and then the rest highway. We are going to be going through a mountain pass, so we're going to be gaining thousands of feet of elevation. So it's definitely kind of throwing everything in the mix. So the plan for this test is do the drive there, fill up, do a real-world calculation, and then once we finish our Moab trip, do the same route exactly on the way back, and then we can average the two values together and see what we get. Alright, so we're about an hour and a half roughly into our trip already, and we just kind of hit back there at the peak of our climb at about 7,435 feet. So there'll be a few up and down elevations as we make our way down, so it's not just straight downhill from here, but we did do a pretty aggressive climb of about almost like 2,500 feet there, back there. So keep chugging along. We made it officially to Moab. We stopped here at this gas station here, this Maverick, and filled up, pulled off to the side because I didn't want to block the pump, but the data is in. So according to the truck, we drove 220.7 miles, and the truck's data was we averaged 18.9 gallons. But according to my hand calculations, we burned 12.29 gallons, and when you do the math, it actually equates to 17.95 gallons, MPG, miles per gallon. So it's a little bit off, about 0.9 off, so we get about 18, which is still better than what the EPA average, because the EPA average is 16, so that's 2 miles per gallon better. Again, this is the first run. The second run we'll be doing on our way back. So we'll see, and I will be able to average that score out. So I'll see you in a few days. Well, here we are a few days later with the ZR2 after a few days of wheeling on different trails. Make sure to go check out those videos. But we just topped off the truck, just finished getting off top of the World Trail, and filling her up so we could head back home and hit the same route to see what kind of MPGs we are going to get. Alrighty, we just pulled up to the gas station, and as you can see, we are at 220.9 miles and averaging supposedly 20.4 miles per gallon, according to the computer. Now let's see what the actual hand calculations are. So we just popped right now 11.26, giving it about 10-15 seconds here, and then going to fill it back up again, give it one more pump. There we go, there's our second pop. There's the remaining gallons, is 11.324 gallons we burned. Alrighty there, as you just saw, we just topped up the truck at 11.324 gallons of fuel that we burned traveling those 220.9 miles. So when you do the math, we are actually averaging 19.5 miles per gallon on the trip back from Moab back to Salt Lake City. That's pretty good. So the screen, as we referenced earlier, the screen was showing 20.4 on the trip, so it's actually a 0.9 difference what the actual MPG is versus what the screen is showing, so it is a little bit off in that aspect. But if you look at our first trip that we took, which was from Salt Lake City to Moab, the same exact route, you just to recap here, we actually burnt 12.29 gallons and we traveled 220.7 miles, and the screen had told us we were averaging 18.9, but the actuality of it was we were actually averaging 17.95 miles per gallon, which is about that 0.9 difference. So both coming from Salt Lake City to Moab and from Moab back to Salt Lake City, the difference between the real world MPGs versus what the computer is telling us is pretty much exactly the same. So when we average those two together, we get a grand total of 18.725 miles per gallon in the entirety of the trip. That's pretty good. Just to do a little small recap of the route, again, of those 220 miles, it was primarily highway driving, and there is some city in there. I would say about 10% is city and 90% is highway. But the biggest thing in that route is the absolute elevation gain that we did. So starting off, we were starting off at about 4,700 feet of elevation, which is higher than where most people are located. And we climbed all the way up to about 7,400 feet of elevation. So we did climb a few thousand feet of elevation. So that is a factor in both of these tests. That's why I wanted to do the same route both ways, because one way could be slightly more downhill than the other way. So that's why we did that. And as you can see, there was a little bit of a difference between MPGs going one way versus the other way. But averaging out, like I said, it was 18.725. Now, obviously, there's variables that can change from person to person. Again, I was using 91 octane, so maybe using a lower octane could possibly lower your fuel economy. I don't know. Also, filling up at a different gas station could have also increased the fuel economy on the way back. But that's the whole point of having this a real-world test. Realistically, you're not going to fill up at a gas station every single time, especially if you're going on road trips. You just want to see what the truck can do. So the biggest thing with these, especially just any turbocharged vehicle, is just really modulating the throttle and not really getting into that boost. When you get into boost, that's when your fuel economy goes down. I know boost is a lot of fun, but if you want to be fuel efficient, it all starts out with your right pedal. With that being said, hope you guys liked the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We do a lot of stuff with the ZR2 here. Got some off-roading videos and stuff like that you should check out on the channel. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.